Welcome back to the Heart Coaching. I'm Bryce Wise, and today we're going to be talking about how your disconnections in life affects and will make it how you connect with people. Let's find out. From the earliest age, you need connection. You always need connection. And, when you are first born, one of the first things they have you do is actually put the child that's born on your chest so you can bond with that child and build connection with that child. So from the earliest age, you needed connection. And at some point in your life, you were met with disconnection when you needed connection. At some point in your life, somebody did not connect with you and engage you. You were met with disconnection when you really needed connection. And what that does is that makes your brain go in and start protecting itself. So because of that disconnection and because you didn't receive connection because you received disconnection when you needed connection, you are now your brain goes in and protects itself from that connection. And so as you go through the process of it, and the more times you get met with disconnection, the deeper those pathways become, and that's how you visualize connection from then on out. And we here at the Heart Coaching were thinking about this and came up with 5 different ways that people actually connect. And you'll fall into some of these ways based on your disconnections in the past. And you will fall into these whether, you'll fall into 4 of them naturally, and 1 of them you'll have to work at to actually become that. But the thing about these connection styles is you can change your connection style. And if you learn and understand how and why you were met with disconnection in your life, it actually starts building healthier, better connection. And when you realize that these areas or these triggers or these things that keep coming up in your life, well, they're going to affect how you connect. And so what are the connection styles? Well, there's 5 of them. There's 5 connection styles. There's the individualist connector, the awkward connector, the insecure connector, the likable connector, and the confident connector. Each one of these has its own unique traits, different things that you actually learn and how you process them. And the more that you can understand what your connection style is and what other connections, the person you're trying to connect with connection style is, the easier that connection will become with you. So over the next 6 weeks, including this week, we are going to make the connection styles a thing and know exactly what's going on with each one of the connection styles. And so today we're just doing an introduction so that you can learn about why connection styles are important and kind of get an idea of what they are. And it is so critical for you to really, if you want good, healthy connection, you have to understand why you're being met with disconnection. And that all stems from early childhood. At some point, again, we're met with disconnection. It's not your fault. You're not a bad person because you were met with disconnection. At some point in your life, whether they meant to or they didn't mean to, you had a moment that changed and altered the course of how you see the world. From the earliest age, you know what's safe and what's not. And your brain is very, very good at making ways to protect itself and keep it safe. And so the best thing it does is it starts building barriers that says, well, I was met with disconnection here, so I need to build a barrier to make sure that doesn't happen to me again. And those barriers will will put you into, you will forever see your connections through those barriers. You will always struggle with your connections through those barriers. Because if you actually like work through it and learn and understand why your triggers are that way and understand why your pains are that way and understand where that disconnection came from and start working through that, you can actually grow your connections and better your connections. And that is so vital in life because you need to be able to really grow through your connections, not stall through your connections. And that is so critical that you need to grow in your connections, not stall. And so what are ways that we can grow instead of stall? Well, first off is learn your connection style. Over this next 6 weeks, we're going to go into what is the connection style and why that is important. The next thing that you can do is you can learn to look at your past and see where the disconnection came from. If you can identify times in your life when you felt completely alone and completely isolated and completely shut off from the world, those pains and triggers can actually give you identification for why you're feeling those things. And the last thing you can do is you can honestly talk about these things, talk about these pains, talk about these hurts, and that will help you actually grow through them. And the more that you can learn to grow through these pains and these hardships, the better your life is going to be. And so when it comes to connection, it's so vital to grow through them and become a better connector and become a more confident connector and grow in the areas that can really help you and change your life. Because trust me, if you work these things out and start applying these things to your life, you will see change. You will see better joy, happier improvement. You will see your life be more fulfilled because you are living with a purpose and living with things. And so it is so vital for you to work through these things and learn about these things, and not only learn about these connection styles, but learn why they're important, and not only learn that, but learn how to see that in others too. Because if you can learn what somebody else's connection style is, you can honestly help guide and lead that conversation so that they can start seeing it walking in health. And you can have good connections with that person, even if they're a challenging, difficult connection. So thank you guys for taking the time today to connect. Thank you for taking the time to better yourself. I just really appreciate that. Um, if you want to learn more about connection, find us on Facebook, subscribe here on YouTube. I'd love to see you guys do that. And find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube. And just remember, when we connect, life gets better. See ya!